Hello, I'm Gooden and welcome to Eurowatch, where we highlight European talent during fight week. Now, we're all excited about the fights being back, and I'm really looking forward to seeing the return of the number 4 ranked flyweight, Askar Askarov. Almost as much as he is. The top-ranked fighter they called Bullet has a very entertaining fight style, but before I dive into the technical aspects of his game, let's learn a little bit more about him first. Askarov is 30 years old and hails from Dagestan in Russia. He has amassed an impressive 14 1-on-1 record since he turned pro in 2013, and it's been his grappling power that has mostly led him to tallying those wins. His training started in freestyle wrestling by his uncle back in the Akvarsky district of Dagestan. Later he went to a sports school and learned combat sambo. He would compete across multiple combat disciplines even as a youngster, and added to his skill set by training in Muay Thai in St. Petersburg for a year as a teenager. His parents were against his sporting pursuits when he was young, but his success has thankfully since swayed them. If you follow Askarov on the socials, you know he has kept some pretty cool company, growing up with Zabit Magomed Sharipov and having close ties with Makhachev and Khabib. He also spent some time training on the US East Coast under Mark Henry with Frankie Edgar. His achievements include becoming a 2-time Russian wrestling champion and Dagestan combat sambo champion. No mean feat. Askarov shone in his transition to mixed martial arts. Before he was picked up by the UFC as an 11-0 prospect, he had a 100% finish rate with 7 submissions and 4 TKO victories. What makes all of this even more impressive is that Askarov is about 80% deaf. As we all know, champions learn how to adapt, and despite Askarov not being able to hear anything during the fight, he has become very disciplined with executing the predetermined game plan. His challenges have also taught him to be completely focused during the fight. Oh, and whilst he was notching up big pro MMA wins, he entered into the Deaflympics in Turkey back in 2017, taking gold in the freestyle wrestling. Another obstacle Askarov faced was that during the time of the UFC showing him interest, they were considering the future of the flyweight division, which slowed the offer of a contract and left Askarov with a lot of uncertainty. I think we can all agree that the 125-pound division has been electric over the last few years, and Askarov has thankfully been a part of that. On to Askarov's excellent MMA game then. This isn't necessarily a knock, but he has yet to find that finish since he signed to the promotion back in 2019. But that has left us with a lot of footage to enjoy his work. Top line, he fights out of both stances, brings a high pressure style, and looks to use his brilliant wrestling to ground the fight and beat you up and hunt for subs. His latest fight with Kai Kara-France might not have been the result that he wanted, but it was very entertaining and some of his work was lovely. There is a theme to Askarov that he likes to work for the back. He has many ways to ground the fight, and he finds the back from anywhere. Once he has the back, he'll latch onto the submission. He also favours the controlling body triangle and is creative in achieving it. Kara-France did a great job of limiting Askarov's striking options. Bullet had been out of action for a while with hand and wrist issues, but I don't think we should underestimate the level of the Kiwi's MMA game to steal Askarov's options from him. But when we dive deeper into Askarov's UFC career, we have seen some really nice striking to accompany his grappling. Against Benavidez, he expertly used front leg kicks, mostly to the midsection, but he was also able to go high as well. The Dagestan fighter can crack from both orthodox and southpaw, as the legend found out. And then of course he shows his black belt level scrambling ability to keep the fight where he wants it. Against Pantoja, a very close fight, he showed us his jab was a very useful tool, again using both orthodox and southpaw. He got into a firefight with Tim Elliott, demonstrating his power needs to be respected. Askarov appears to be a very strategic fighter. I didn't fight a fight where he used all of this together: the jab, the check hooks, the snap kick, and then the freestyle wrestling. That might be by design, but I look forward to the day he does blend it all. This weekend he faces Brandon Royval, who is a joy to watch. The Factory X fighter is a fight finisher who takes a lot of risks, making him a fan favourite. He has a black belt in jiu-jitsu, and I really want to see those two show the world some high-level scrambles and submission attacks. On the feet, Askarov does better when he is the taller, longer fighter, something he is not in this fight. but he does have all the skills to control the fight and do damage. Askarov has been close to the belt and will want to get back to the front of the queue, but at the top of the flyweight division, he has his hands full every single time out. That's a wrap for this week. Don't forget to check out all of what UFC Fight Pass has to offer. There is just so much there, including my latest conversation with award-winning coach Eric Nixick of Extreme Couture. Thanks for watching and enjoy the fights this weekend.